depending on the angle of the shot, you have three different choices. You have a sock with a drawstring that doesn't go on your foot. You have a plastic-backed thong,
Okay.
which apparently breaks if you're running very fast. And the third choice is the man panty or manty, which kind of reduces you to like a Ken doll. You kind of look like a Ken doll with it on. And depending on the angle, you get to put one of those on. And I, of course, was explaining this to my brother, who kind of half-jokingly said, dude, I'm going to sneak into your trailer when those wolves are on set. I'm going to switch your sock out with a sausage casing.
I've never been more interested in socks before in my life. But also interesting, are you aware that there's a Facebook campaign for you to play Superman? Are you aware of this?
I've heard of it.
Yes. And is that something you would be interested in?
I was a big fan of Superman underoos when I was a kid, so I'd be happy to bring them back into fashion.
Right.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, what do you guys think? All right, well, before I turn it over to the audience, I want to ask Alan, can you tease anything about season 4? Like anything that we'll see?
Everybody goes to therapy. Everybody goes on medication, and everybody's really happy. No, obviously people who know the books know that there is a character who doesn't really know who he or she is. And becomes kind of a different person than we've got to know. Maybe someone who has hated this person doesn't hate them so much anymore. Yes, I'm talking about Mike Spencer and Sheriff Dearborn.
All right. Okay, so let's take questions from the audience.
So as actors, what's harder to film? Graphic depictions of sex or violence?
Well, we have to fake the violence. But generally, we're actually naked, so I don't know.
Touche.
Someone else want to talk,
What do you
please?
silence the panel?
I was just thinking it's all good. I mean, it was a good day at work.
Depends on what's happening today, I think.
I prefer to get naked earlier in the day and kill people in the later part of the day. Particularly, anything that's going to be really messy. Because then you're not stuck with it all over you for lunch.
Every single one of us who has to do naked stuff, and let's face it, it's most of us, basically starve themselves, apart from Ryan, who is just this physical anomaly, joined very quickly by Joe on the end there.
I eat a lot.
And so I would say that doing the physical stuff is more fun because you get to eat as well.
All right, next question.
Working with animals can be extremely challenging. I was wondering, how do you all prepare yourself to work with the animals on set?
Skarsgård isn't so bad once you get used to it.
It's funny because I've had to work with a few animals on the set. The best trained animal that we've had was the deer that Daphne turned into. And I don't know, the trainer had all kinds of toys and bells. It looked like Carrot Top with all his props. But they seem to do a lot better than the dogs for some reason. I don't know why.
Or the cat.
We had wolves this season, and the wolves are actually really intelligent, and they are very very observant, so you have to be incredibly still around them. And my first day on set, Stephen and I got to meet the real wolves who we were going to be working with. And we were told things like, now, don't let them smell your fear. They're very powerful. And we met like the 6-month-old baby, that's all we could handle. And we went down and met the 6-month-old baby who promptly knocked me over, just smelling my crotch. And,
That was me, Dennis.
The wolves are just extraordinary animals, fantastic animals, and to have the opportunity to be that close to that kind of animal was such a thrill. But they had to work with a hybrid, a half wolf, half dog, to do the actual acting bits, because wolves are, like actors, too neurotic.
It was funny, the hybrids, they had all sorts of funny little tricks to get them to do things, and I had to work with one that had to cock its head and kind of look confused, and they would play ape noises. So I had this guy behind me, like, going, you know, like that, and I'm trying to look badass like a vampire.
All right, next question.
Touching on season 4, book 4, how much of a role will Hollow play in season 4?
Well, we just started breaking stories for season 4, and she's definitely she's a big character. Absolutely.
All right, next question.
First of all, thank you, Ms. Harris, for writing this wonderful mythology. My question is for Kristen and Nelson. Basically, that sounds like the writers have given you wonderful lines to say. What has been your favorite?
Boy, there's so many good ones. But I've been hearing an answering to Hooker a lot, so I'm appreciative of the way Nelson delivered that. And my retort, you know, that was a gift.
Yeah, there's so many. I personally like bitch every time I hear something. No, there's so many. I can't
There's
even
so
possibly-
many.
Yeah,
Every script is such a
yeah.
well done.
Our writers are so incredible. I would have to give you 20 lines that are my favorite.
All right, next question.
This is a question for Mr. Allen.